Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are painting a portrait of someone, a real person. So I've done a few portraits in my life. A lot of them are fantasy based, but some of them are of real people. And I'm going to talk about the process I go in making it look like a person that you are needing to paint. Now, in this case, I've had to go off photos I found on social media. If they know that they're getting the painting done of them, then you can ask for a sitting. But in this case, it was a surprise. So I've tried to get some photos from different angles so I have an idea of what the face looks like, from like side on and front on. And so when you're painting the face, you're kind of looking for features that you can grab onto, as they say in the art world. What that means is it's very unique features to this particular person's face that will make them look like them. So in this particular instance, I was seeing pretty high cheekbones, pretty prominent jowls, which is sort of the shadows on the sides of the mouth, downturned eyes, which are just gorgeous, they're my favorite kind of eyes, and quite triangular shaped eyebrows, and then of course there was very, very dark hair in this almost like mullet sort of hairstyle, so that can be kind of important as well. And the piercing, they've chosen to pierce their nose. That's going to be an important thing to add in as well, because it's probably something that they really like because they did it themselves. So while I add my first few layers of gesso to the wood panel and let them dry, I'm thinking of ideas of how I'm going to paint this portrait. So the brief was to do a portrait of the person as if they were some kind of demon or monster that has risen from the netherworld, or you could call it the underworld or hell. I know this person in particular does really like corvids, crows and ravens and those type of birds, so I'm definitely going to incorporate that into this piece. So I've got the iPad out and I'm starting to get some sketches down, just mostly to get an idea of the layout that I'm going to use the canvas for, use reference for the hands because that's going to be super important, and get an idea of the color scheme because I wasn't really sure up until this point. With about 3 or 4 layers of gesso primer down, I can now start sketching out my rough outlines of the piece that I'm going to do. Sometimes for the primer I would add other colors like browns or darker colors, but with this I wanted the background to be like a very cloudy, stormy sky, so the white kind of made sense to keep there. So it's usually at this point that I start to question if I know what I'm doing at all, because it looks really bad and I don't know where to even like go on from here, but you just have to trust the process. Just trust, and it does work out. It always works out eventually. So I'm adding magic to the hands. The idea is that they're using like chaos magic to control all of the crows, right? And when you want to paint a light effect like this, you need to have the most vibrant color next to your white line. So you have a pretty thin line of white and then a really, really vibrant pink, and then I started to blend that out with purple. So purple was the overall color that I wanted, but I did add some pink in there just to get that vibrancy going. And adding light and glow to the areas around it is also pretty important in this instance. So now we've got shadow areas and we've got light areas, and it gives me definitely something to work off to start adding in a lot more details. I basically paint with thicker paint, and then I use a dry brush to blend it out to get a smoother gradient.
So I've made this little setup out in the lounge room, but I forgot to record the last session because I don't really have room, and I've been watching my partner play God of War. We're both playing it, but when I'm painting, obviously I'm not playing the game. So where I'm at with the painting is, since the last video, I had to move his nose up, so I basically just painted over this whole area, moved it up a bit, and then added the details in again. I've also been working a lot on the face, and I've had to re-go over the eyes like 4 times because I'm trying to make them look extremely vibrant but extremely light as well. So it's finally starting to look how I want it to. The light's pretty intense on it. I think now I want to get this green on the crows a little bit more vibrant, so I'm probably going to go over that a little bit and maybe just like build up some of the shadows again. But outside of it, it's pretty much done. It's looking really good. Like it's looking like them, I believe. I hope. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I've got to work on the eyes like of the crows a little bit as well, because they're just like blobs of paint right now. So I think I want to make a little bit more of a glow look to them. But otherwise, yeah, it's almost finished.
Took me ages to figure out how to stick the frames around these wood panels just because they're so thick, but basically, as you can see here, the wood sort of does come behind the frame a little bit, but it is stuck with wood glue, and I did it in just little blobs. I didn't do a big long line, so if you ever wanted to remove it, you could just use like a knife and sort of cut the few blobs around the edge. It was like 2 on the top and 3 on the sides. Yeah, and then we're adding our hooks, and we'll add the wire, and it should be ready for hanging. These are little fabric like stickers. You're meant to put them on the bottom of furniture like tables and chairs, but they kind of protect the wall and stop the wood from rubbing against any walls when they're hanging. Here we are, a finished portrait ready to hand off to the patron. I think it's looking pretty sick. I hope they are happy with it. I really enjoyed painting it. And yeah, thank you for everyone who came together to help me paint this one. I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!